I'm a curious young lad, some might say, and so I found myself venturing off to my mother's closet. And while some of you might find some very frightening things in your mother's closets, luckily not me. I found this very cool old video cassette camcorder. It's a JVC Digital Video Player, I think is the official name of it. Digital Video Camera, my apologies. Digital Video Camera from JVC. It's got a 16x optical zoom on it, and this thing records these very cool video cassettes from the 90s. These things are sick. So it's essentially like a film roll on a cassette, and it gave you the ability to actually play it back and watch the film on the camcorder itself. And they have these things called Firewires, which went right here and actually allowed you to kind of scan your video right onto your computer by like screen capturing it. If you're going for that VHS look, you got to get something like this, an old school camcorder. Maybe you don't need one that shoots video cassettes because that format is a bit difficult to work with and stuff like that. You obviously have to, you're transferring a physical format into a digital format, so that's always going to add extra steps to your workflow and whatnot. But if you are looking for that real vintage VHS look, this is the way to do it. And unfortunately, as all of the cool old retro cameras that I acquire do, this one does not work. So I look through the viewfinder, I see nothing. I look at the screen and I see a heads-up display showing me, certain settings and whatnot, but it's just showing a black screen. And it doesn't matter, it's just telling me like lens cap is still on, even though it's clearly not. So I'm not sure what's wrong with this guy. If anybody knows sort of what the issue I could be facing here is, I would really appreciate it if you let me know, because as far as I'm aware, good old mom really never used this thing too much, and it should kind of be working fine other than the fact that it's just been sitting for a while. But really a cool camcorder. Really gives you that, vintage kind of run and gun feeling. And like I said, you guys can go and look up some video cassette camcorder footage on YouTube, and I'm sure there's tons of it to go and look through. They're all going to look quite similar. So if you are going for that look, like I said, these things are the way to go. Everybody wants their hands on that, old school DVD, VHS look when it comes to video now. And I see the popularity of these things definitely skyrocketing in the near future, so get your hands on one while you can. I'm sure they're pretty cheap now, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, something like that, but the prices I'm sure will, continue to rise and rise. This particular one is really nice because, like I said, you have the screen, you have a little built-in light you can turn on and off. It has tons of features that you need. It has an automatic or a manual setting mode. Tons of different skill levels can, I'm sure, make use of this thing. You got wide and telephoto, 16x optical zoom, and you can actually replay and rewind the film on the camcorder itself, which is a pretty nifty feature for the time that this thing came out. I'm sure that was one of its like major selling points. And I mean, come on, I would freaking spend the 50, 60 bucks on one of these things just so I had something that did this. I mean, look at that. That don't scream Transformers to you, I don't know what does. So if you want to get your hands on the Autobots of cameras, ladies and gentlemen, I recommend pick up one of these cool old VHS camcorders and see what you can do with it. I'm sure you can create some fun projects. Everyone's looking to sort of slap VHS filters and stuff on their modern day footage anyway, so really the true way to do it is go ahead and get something that's gonna basically bake that right into the footage from the camera. So I don't think these things are too hard to find. JVC made a ton of these camcorders and stuff like that, so you guys shouldn't have trouble finding one. If I do find a copy, I'll leave a link to the description and you guys can purchase it from there. So really do wish mine worked, but I'm gonna try to get my hands on another one or something similar so I can sort of, do some cool VHS style video content for you guys. I'm sure there's tons of cool content I can make if I have one of these things that actually works. So unfortunately, no test footage for you guys today, but I'm sure you can go find some pretty easily. If you guys are into cinema and cinema cameras, I have tons of content around the Blackmagic Pocket 4K. I have a full review you can check out here if you guys are interested. And I also have tons of other videos on the channel going over film photography cameras, my favorite gear and stuff like that, editing, color grading, all that sort of stuff. So if you guys are interested, check it out. Thanks for watching. Peace.